welcome, Germaniacs. Alicia Couri here, your red carpet CEO. And my mission is to influence, educate, inspire, and entertain you with audacious confidence. So you can be more, do more, have more, and live a life without limits or restrictions.
I am Szebastian Onne, the almost naked CEO, currently reporting from the planet Earth. And the time right now is amazing! I'm the main media pro of branding and PR. I create and coach entrepreneurs and help brands to use the power of creativity, engagement, and leadership to bring brands and communities together. And you're watching Women Unleashed on Germaniac TV.
Yes, you are. You can share and show us you care.
Sharing is caring.
Tag a friend that you want to come along and watch with us.
Share on your timeline. Share in any groups. You can even share on Messenger in a message.
Share as a message with your best buddy. Come on.
Drop hashtag live if you're watching live right now.
And hashtag replay if you're watching us on replay.
Give us some love. Share with us where you are tuning in right now from.
And drop a hello in the comments just so that we can give you a shout out, because we love giving shout outs.
And remember, we can only see your comments if you're tuned in via facebook.com/GermaniacTV.
And if you have a friend that's not on Facebook, no worries. They can always go to germaniac.com/live and they can tune in on our website.
That's right. And once again, you're watching Women Unleashed on Germaniac TV, proudly sponsored by AliciaCouri.com and Szebastian.com.
So let's get started with our show. We have an amazing guest for you today. I first met Tanya Kaye Villar. I met her at a course that I did about 3.5 years ago. And please, continue to like and share the page. I'm going to do the same thing. But Tanya Kaye Villar is the Southern Muse. And I first met Tanya when I went to a course called Money, Life, Freedom Weekend Experience. How do you like that? The Money, Life, Freedom Weekend Experience. And it was mind-blowing. There were 3 coaches there. Tanya was one of the 3 coaches. It was the first time I'd ever met Tanya. And she is called the Southern Muse. And she was just so full of life and vibrancy, and the things that she taught about really connecting deep within yourself, bringing that your inner subconscious to awareness. It was life-changing for me, and I'm so excited to have her on today. She taught about the cycle of the recreation of belief, so hopefully we can get to that today. And she once she created and owned a very profitable software company before she went into private coaching. So she's multifaceted, multi-talented. She now coaches women, not just women, but primarily women, but she coaches them to understand their linguistic code and calling forth the things that they want in their lives. So I thought she was a perfect match for Women Unleashed, because she helps you unleash the best that's in you, unleash your inner goddess. And I am just so excited to have her. And one really big, huge thing about Tanya is Tanya was 420 pounds at one point. And when she began to really clear some of these things out for herself, she lost 80 pounds in just 90 days without even trying. And that's something that she helps people understand and helps them through as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So I want to welcome Szebastian. If you're ready, I want to welcome.
Absolutely. I am bringing Tanya into the studio.
Yay, Tanya Kaye Villar. Woo! I'm so excited to have you here with us. I know I'm disappearing off the screen, but Tanya, is there anything in that intro that you wanna talk about, clear up, have?
Well, you put it right on there. I think the other thing I wanted to add that I meant to tell you earlier is that my first company I started when I was 25, and it was when I opened my first community home for the handicapped. So when I was 25, that was my first company. My second company was the software. And when we talk about code, when we talk about being able to understand how to break through and this whole human potential movement, like I was doing that not necessarily for quote unquote people who have normal brain development, but I was unlocking potential of people that we judged that had delayed mental development, right? So, but what I want you to understand, it doesn't matter. You learn the same way.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Because you do talk about the brain a lot and the spinal column and the iguana brain. So I was listening. I was paying attention. So
I know you were. I mean, your life grew exponentially after the course.
Yes, it did. I had a lot of breakthroughs in that course. And so let's just dive right in and talk about where does the Southern Muse come from?
Okay, so as you know, I think I want to talk a little bit to explain how the emergence of me calling forth the Southern Muse, my divine persona, or my divine image. There's a difference between persona and image. Now, do we project? All of us project light from our spinal column out. Now, we're a series of nerve endings. So, like you referred to at one point in my evolution as Tanya on this planet, I was 420 pounds. And looking through the eyes of a 420-pound woman is a totally different experience than looking through the eyes of 197 pounds. And the perspective of that was lost on me, initially. So what we can see and what we allow ourselves to see, I can tell you your perception based on your first 3 words. And when I began to realize that I know, right? And that's usually why people shut up around me. When I read their words, they think I'm doing it all the time. You understand, I ask a series of stimulus questions in order to stimulate a part of your brain to find out your code. Look, you're so cute.
It's like
you're so cute. So now I know a lot about you even when you don't speak. You gotta understand, my first clientele was nonverbal. So body language is like 70% of communication anyway. Tone is the rest, and then words are just minuscule. But at least when you know the codes and your repetitive words, you can see your own pattern. Yes, Szebastian.
The only statement I'm going to make is, Alicia, I will not speak in this show.
And you're not going to move either, right? You're not going to move. You're not going to speak. You're just going to sit there quietly. I know. Listen, Tanya is phenomenal. She reads your body language and some of the things that we attribute to a pain because maybe I slept bad and I have a pain in my shoulder, or I have pain in my lower back because I sat bad. There are things that are going on emotionally in your body, and your body's, emotionally with you, and your body's reflecting that, right?
Yes. And I want to share this personal funny story about perception. Okay, Szebastian. Because, a lot of us I think the biggest lie is that we're hiding anything from anyone. All right?
He's like,
I have a personal story. So
I'm
So
scared.
what happened is I'm teaching these courses, and I have three little children. I have 5 total, and a marriage that isn't going well. And I'm big. I'm making a lot of money though. Woo! I'm making money. I'm running software companies. People calling me. I'm so important, but I'm really huge. And I didn't dress. I didn't care what I looked like. Couldn't even look in the mirror, because who I saw myself on the inside and what it reflected in the mirror were 2 different things. So I never would look in the mirror, right? Always wore black. It was the joke. I had black, no makeup, org, and short hair, bag lady. You wouldn't know I owned companies. You actually would think I was a homeless woman. You can look on my YouTube page. I have a before picture of actually when I dressed up one time. But I had so where I would not look at what I looked like, because I had such judgment, right? And it didn't work for me to look at myself. I needed to keep working. So basically, it was this Christmas, and I had just had a breakthrough. I might have just started teaching global courses, and I had this awareness. And I woke up and I looked at myself in the mirror for the first time, and I looked at my husband at the time, and I said, I can't go to Christmas. And he goes, why not? I said, I'm fat. And he's like,
you just figured that out.
He just kind of said, I said, I can't. I haven't lost any weight. The last time they saw me, I said I was, and I was trembling in the bed. I said, just go without me. I can't. Wow. Like the veils lifted, and I had saw myself for the first time, and I was like huge, And I'm like, how can people look at me? I had this like scary moment, a realization. And then he looked at me, he says, we all been knowing. And we love you anyway, so let's go to Christmas. So it was this like thing about everything I thought I was hiding from people. I was
just hiding it all.
So it's perception. It's actually called in the sacred scriptures a veil lifting. And that's a neurological process. That's what I want people to understand. What they wrote about in biblical times were neurological processes of awarenesses.
Wow.
Okay, so do you understand? So when a veil lifts, your body will tremble. You will have a quickening. And so understanding how the nervous system, when your nerve endings start to stretch and grow, how your body responds will help you go with the flow easier. Right.
That's so true. Szebastian, you had a question?
Yes.
Well, I was thinking as you're talking, you're talking about how you realized and how your husband at the time reacted. And we're talking about neurology. One thing that comes to my mind is, as you talk about trembling, that moment when you realized that, as we're talking about, you realized yourself what's actually going on. How did you feel in terms of, like, what were the emotions you were going through? Because I had similar breakthrough, and I had some great sort of personal reactions to the situations, and I also had reactions where I regretted, later on, why did I react that way? But it was out of my control. So how did you?
Great question, Szebastian. So what happens in your energy field when this veil comes up? Why it's called the quickening is because literally your energy fields are shifting direction. So what happens when the veil lifts, it's called the reprogramming of the brain. Your upper neocortex, instead of being left, right, good, bad, when I had the awareness, I was accepting myself as fat. I wasn't judging it anymore. So when I lift that judgment off, all the suppressed rage, all the suppressed victimhood of my body, always, if I looked at food, I would gain weight, right? All the fasts I had been on, all the deprivation I had put myself through, and I still was fat. So what you have to understand, lifting that veil, I'm releasing resentment.
Right.
Going up one side, right? Because energy comes from the top. Everyone talks about, praying and meditating and all that and calling energy down. But right when it hits your guts, we want to vomit and we stop. So no one talks about how to pull it up from your feet.
Yes. That's what you were showing us.
Right? And so we not only our energy feels up and down in a figure 8, but we also, when we expand and we allow ourselves to love ourselves, then I remove judgment.
Yeah.
Because what? I can see and influence more people because I'm more comfortable with my shortcomings. So guess what? I raise the frequency in the room. It's been a scientific fact that within 20 minutes, the person with the highest intention in the room, everyone else will resonate with it as long as they state it.
Wow.
It's been proven with clocks. It's been proven in sales meetings. If you want, you need to first establish a relationship and listen before you can really offer the best of yourself. So understanding how to love yourself right where you're at. And I was not good at that.
Yeah.
I was good at loving you right where you're at.
That is so true. Wait, let's pause and reflect on that. Let's just take a moment on that, because that is so true. It's so much easier to love someone else. And I've heard it say, well, you can't love someone really if you don't love yourself. But you can give love to someone without loving yourself. The hardest thing is to love yourself and to come to that place of acceptance within yourself. That is so difficult.
And what you'll see, Alicia, and you could probably speak to this, I know Szebastian can speak to this, the more and more we get more audaciously authentic on live feeds, not only do our fans grow, but so do people who oppose us.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is how we process both fans and haters is how we process and love ourselves. So am I willing to get up every morning, know that I have a good bunch of people who think I'm crazy and different? Sure. Because I know that I'm doing this for a bigger purpose, right?
Oh,
so does
wonderful.
that make sense? And so understanding that I had to turn it on its ear and say, I'm willing to love myself for the benefit of all. So if you want to know a linguistic statement to say, for everyone that wants to unleash, I am willing to love myself more for the benefit of all.
I'm writing that down. I want to say thank you, Susan. I'm sorry. I just want to say thank you, Susan. Hello. Thank you for joining us and catching us live.
Susan's one of the muses. Susan's one of my lifestyle coaches, and we're going to be in Costa Rica in 20 days broadcasting.
Nice. Awesome.
Yes.
Szebastian, you wanted to say something, because I have to step in too. So you go, and then I'll go.
I just had to, you know, Tanya, I'm an atheist, right?
Yes.
And I have my own, you can say, barriers of thinking when I think that way. But, as Alicia knows, I think I'm one of the most open-minded atheists, because I'm open to what others have to say and how people see and believe in things. So coming from that perspective, listening to you, it makes a lot of logical sense, rational sense, scientific sense, rather than, if I may, I don't know what spirituality is.
It's a story.
I don't know what religion is.
It's a story.
But fair enough. But what I know is, as we're talking right now, it's connecting to me, because from the moment you say trembling, and that's the thing, you feel like vomit and everything, and then you're talking about love, you're loving yourself because you're trying to do that for a bigger purpose. That all resonates with me, because I think that's how you overcome the realization of the maybe failure, maybe shortcoming, maybe the negative image you had for yourself. And once you let that go, that trembling, that fear, that vomit, is because you were just not expecting it's going to go. You were living with it. You were accepting it. And now finally, again,
able
speaking
to let it go.
purely from an atheist point of view, you just let go. You just like, screw it. Now I need to see what's beyond my thinking, right?
And it happens automatically. So I want to talk to atheism, because atheism is a belief system.
It is.
Okay. In Adlerian psychology, it's called the reverse. It's not called this. It's how I paraphrased it. I called it the reverse monkey, but that's not what it's called. You understand, the rebel and the doormat are both controlled by the rule. They're not free thinkers yet. Now, when we get beyond, like, one of my key questions I love to ask my coaches is, what are your favorite stories that inspire you? If they tell me Jesus stories, then I know their linguistic code. If they tell me I'm an atheist, I know your linguistic code. It is a belief system, and it's provocative. If I had to say one thing about you, Szebastian, your divinity is your provocativeness. Now, if you can embrace your provocative nature and not be opposing anything, then your energy field expands exponentially. So understand, your key linguistic is, I am a provocative person and I'm using it for the benefit of all. You are perfectly positioned in the absolute perfect field for your energy field. So you are totally aligned with your I am presence, that life force going up and down your spinal column. And so however you get there, whatever friggin' story you tell yourself, that's your business. Now, if we're gonna dump on each other, because right now, a key thing, close your eyes. I'm gonna say a word, chair. Now, are you thinking of the same chair I'm thinking of? Probably the hell not. We have different experiences, different languages. We've anchored in code subconsciously. You understand, your subconscious moves at 400 billion bits per second.
I learned that from you.
A conscious thought only moves 100,000 miles per hour.
Right.
So understanding me going, I am fat and I love myself, when against my mom was a homecoming queen, beauty was #1, you better wear makeup. So me not being beautiful was the reverse monkey of embodying my beauty. So you understand? Like, I think atheists are some of the most spiritual people on this planet, and they're so cute because they want to pretend like they're not. Because they are doing it, and they're doing something without the structure of ancient stories. They're following a calling.
I'll take it.
Yes.
All right.
If you're on here, yeah, go on. So
I was just saying, I saw Shelly's, hi Shelly. I saw Shelly's comment earlier saying that stories are powerful, and they really are. And they frame your experience, your experiences frame that, and your life then becomes all about the stories. And you have to be willing to let go of, well, first be aware, recognize, and let go of those stories if they're not benefiting you.
Okay, so this is something else too that, like I said, I was in personal growth before personal growth was cool. I was in personal growth when a vision quest meant that you shoveled a pile of shit from here to here until your fingers bled. None of this, Evian water vision quest, right? And I was big doing these vision quests. So we're talking 30 years ago doing vision quests. So what I'm saying is, just let it go. If we all could just let it go, don't you think we would, right? It's a condemning thing that we do to ourselves. So let me tell you how you let it go. All you have to do is notice your linguistic pattern. In the morning, if you capture the first 8 minutes of your day and what you think, you will see repetitive verbs. You will see repetitive I am statements. You will see repetitive feelings. And when you notice your pattern, then just noticing it and being willing to see yourself from a higher perspective as a code, not as a failure, you're able to then change the language. And when you change the language, you open up new neural pathways.
All right. Wow. I'm going to have to watch this interview again because it's like blowing my mind. I know you love to do that. So
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, thank you, Shelly, for, yes, it's really great advice to let things go, but you have to recognize them first before you can let them go. You have to be aware of those. Like you're saying, in the mornings, if you start really looking at the patterns, then you become aware, and then you can choose. You're a choice. That's what I learned there too. You're a choice now to let those things go. I want to talk about the I am statements, but we're going to take a quick break, right, Szebastian? We're going to take a quick break, and then I want to talk about the I am.
Oh, please.
Yeah. Well, actually, the break is in a few minutes, but I just wanted to remind people, wherever you are, guys, right now, if you're watching it on any other page, if you're watching it in any other location, please come to www.facebook.com/Romaniac You're currently tuned into Women Unleashed Season 1, Episode 9 with Alicia Couri and myself, Szebastian Onne, and our guest is Tanya Kaye Villar. She's the Southern Muse, and oh my God, I am blown away.
Okay,
seriously,
I'm just going to, because I know your accent is what it is, and so I'm just going to say Tanya Kaye Villar. So just, Villar.
I love
Not that I'm trying to get it. I know. Just in case people are trying to type it in, we can put it up.
V-I-L-L-A-R. I gotta tell you, I want him to announce me all the time.
Yes. Villar. Because no, I just wanted to make that clarification because it didn't, come out like that. Not a criticism on him, just that it didn't sound like Villar. Not at all. Because I love you, my boy, my mate. He's my mate.
It's all good.
Mate. Yeah, so
I don't have any specific language or accent anymore.
We're just stunned right now. We're just sitting in stunned.
I know you're in stunned mode. I know that you're.
I am blown away, and I just don't know what to say.
I'm waiting for my spinal column to stop trembling.
Okay, so I can say something to help. Okay. So one of the things that's so much fun when I teach the science and soul of words is when people understand the power of their first 3 words. And when I was teaching this, I, of course, didn't originate this work. It was originated by Adler and actually in a book called Lifestyle Assessment. But one of the best people to teach it and the application of it was Bill Riedler, who founded Global Relationship Centers. He passed away in 2006. But that was the company that I worked for years, training life coaches and experiential weekend experiences, okay? Because the thing is, to understand something intellectually is one thing. To explain to someone how to crawl is one thing. To actually have an experience of crawling rewires your whole brain. So whole body learning is what we would teach. And we would teach self-awareness through listening, increasing listening skills. And so one exercise we would do as instructors, and we would sit around and we would only say 3 words. And we would have to consolidate everything into 3 words. And we would notice if we would start the sentence, I am pissed, or I am frustrated, I am, and we started noticing a pattern in I ams. Like and so the I am statement in ancient technology, as far back as the first written word, even symbols, talk about the spinal column and the saying of the I and listening to the tone and how to know how life force is flowing up and down your spinal column.
Wow. For
some reason, the verb be, which is am, and then whatever you put in, instantly science has proven, you can see it underneath a microscope, that atoms at the atomic level start forming whatever's in the 3rd sentence.
And I totally am in alignment with that. I believe that. And yes, totally, 100%.
So as a linguist,
shout out, guys. Sorry for interrupting. I just want to do a very quick shout out for people who are watching us right now.
Okay, I wanted her to finish her thing, and then we can do shout out.
Shout out.
Are you sure you don't want to finish the
basically
the thought?
the I am statement? If you want to know magical words and how to listen first before, because affirmations alone don't work. There's a whole thing about joyful movement, because you know we talk about the trembling and the spinal column. So it's affirmation as well as joyful movement and the I am statement. So first thing, a quick tip, listen to how whatever you say today behind the I am. And you will have one of those quickening experiences, just so you know. Okay.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay.
So let's give some shout outs. Thank you so much.
So we have Shelly Plum tuning in from West Palm Beach, Florida. And then we have Angelica Christie from Bahamas. She is in
at the beach.
Bahamas.
She's at the beach.
Coming just from the beach. And then we have Susan Amore from Tallahassee, Florida.
What are the muses?
Yay.
And Felix from Bismarck, North Dakota. I said that right. So yes, lots of people tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we're just going to go for a really short break and be right back. So
taking a commercial break. Don't leave. We're not breaking. Don't leave. We're just
don't leave. We got more to come.
Don't leave. We're just going to do a little business.
More fun. Blowing Sebastian's mind.
We're gonna do a little business here. We're gonna do a little business. So
if I can focus after being blown away, I'm just trying to come back to the real world.
I know we're trying to come down to reality.
Take 2 deep breaths. Say, I am centered, aligned, and on time with my provocative self.
There you go. That's for you.
And before we go for the commercial break, just one last comment. I want to shout out Dianara Torres says, hi guys, this is right up my alley. We love you. Let's talk more. And absolutely, you're able to call in. So we'll bring you back after the break. Hopefully the system works for you. We love bringing people on the show. So if you're ready, after the break, we'll have you on, Dianara. All right, so I'm going to send you girls to green room for 2 minutes and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
So you have been watching Women Unleashed Season 1, Episode 9, and please don't go anywhere. We are not even halfway through. We need this episode to go 3-4 hours. So what we're going to do is bring Tanya back over and again on different shows. So tune in and watch us on Dramaniac TV. This show is brought to you by AliciaCouri.com and Szebastian.com. Alicia Couri is the personal branding expert and the Colby certified consultant and helps businesses to gain more productivity in their brands. And Szebastian.com is all about branding, design, public relations for your brands. We help you make your brands grow faster and with more power, using the power of creativity, engagement, and leadership. And I'm just going to bring back the girls. Once again, if you're watching from anywhere, guys, please make sure you come to facebook.com/DramaniacTV so we can see your comments, we can give you a shout out, we can interact with you. And as Dianara just said, we can even bring you on camera. So if you're camera ready, if you have the systems going, we will bring you on. Let me bring in my co-host, Alicia Couri, first. There she is, and I'm bringing Tanya back, our guest. There we are.
Hey, everybody. So thank you so much, Szebastian. I wanted to also add to that just really quickly. If you go to Dramaniac TV on Facebook, please like our page. We would love for you to like our page and also click get notifications so that when we have Tanya back, because like he said, she'll be on multiple shows. When we have Tanya back, you'll get notified that she is back live. I know she'll be on Audacious Confidence with me, and we have a host of shows that we're running, and we would love you to come back in and have Tanya and experience this Southern Muse, the awesomeness of this Southern Muse. So I am. That's what we wanted. We wanted to talk about the I am statements because where my belief is, where my beliefs are. And so because I have a very strong Christian belief, I know in the power of be, and I know in the power of I am. And so let's just talk about that right now. Go ahead, Tanya.
Okay, so how do you want me to go through this? Because there's a couple of, what is the interest level? Like, tell me the question you have. Like, you know a lot about the I am, and a lot of your listeners are into personal growth, right? They have heard this before. So tell me, in the application of it, Alicia, what questions come to mind?
Okay, so first of all, what is the I am? So if someone isn't religious, isn't Christian, doesn't know the foundation of the I am.
Okay.
And if we take the biblical out of it.
Yes. Let's talk about life force.
Let's just talk about life force. Let's talk about scientific proof, evidentiary proof, empirical proof.
This is the thing. We are a trinity. Now, when I'm talking about this, please, even though these are familiar biblical words and all that, understand, let's think about it like in science. We have an interaction coding system inside of our mind, our body, and this invisible stuff that goes up and down our spinal column that when someone dies, it weighs anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds. Mm-hmm. So as far as measurement of this ether, this smoke, this essence, the same essence that my dad passed away 2 years ago, my mother passed away in 2005. When I bring her to memory, it's maybe I see her body, but mostly I speak to her essence, right? We can all say that. Irregardless of your belief, every human that inhales and exhales is inhaling invisible stuff and exhaling invisible stuff. Now, some people like me can see this invisible stuff with the naked eye. Curly in photography can see this invisible stuff with the naked eye. So seeing auras, energy fields, and that they're different colors can be picked up on, so your energy field, a body that is dead and a body that is alive, emanates a field of energy. How this field of energy emanates and permeates the emotional body and the nervous system, how it beams out, has a lot to do with how the person allows it to beam out. So when I say call forth your I am presence, I no longer, even though I was in personal growth, we began in psychology going for the block. Well, in quantum physics, then we multiplied the blocks. Diving into dysfunctional families, we then started talking about families to the point they dissected and schizophrenic themselves till we all have dysfunctional families. You understand? So in psychology, the movement I am for now is I don't believe in the law of attraction anymore, even though I taught it for years. I believe in the law of practice. And I believe in the law of the I am, calling it forth linguistically. And it was doing those two things that I had the result. So yeah, as I look for what I say and how I say it and my code, I'm changing how I'm activating the water in my body. Because you understand, we have a mental intelligence that's really just a file cabinet. It should not be running your life.
I love that.
A sophisticated file cabinet. 2 lies the mind will tell you every day is that you have yesterday and tomorrow.
Wow.
That is a effing lie.
I have to ask you, as you're talking about this, you mentioned law of practice, and it resonates with me because, again, when people talk about law of attraction, I have a little conflict in understanding. So help me understand and the audience a little bit more about law of practice, because I think I know what you're talking about, but I just need to hear from you. And I think people who have never heard that before would love to understand a little bit.
Perfect. Thank you. So basically what happens is that whatever you practice, you have. Yes. Whatever you rehearse consciously, people think they should get instantly. Let's talk about the law of attraction. Let's talk about a vision board. I taught when The Secret came out, I jumped on that like white on rice. I had Money and Life Freedom. We had vision boxes. I had people that were coming saying, I put this in here and this happened, and everybody's excited. Well, I guess so. Everyone was practicing. We were practicing together. When the practice stopped, so did all the good stuff happen. And then people started blaming themselves. So I see some people put up a vision board to say, you see, my life sucks because I still don't have that boat. So energetically, what is the communication between you and your vision board? You know, so that inner conversation is, Alexa, be quiet.
Nobody's talking to you, Alexa.
She's like, girl. So basically, the law of practice helps you embody that which you desire. And what it will do is clear a nervous system of all the excuses of why you don't have it. And so it's actually the law that works in unison with the law of practice is what's called the law of money and distance, or the love of my soulmate in distance, the love of my perfect career in distance. It's your belief in how far away you are from the thing.
Right.
That's keeping you from the thing.
So two things I wanted to ask about that, because my other mentor, David Nagel, he always says that there's no such thing as the law of attraction, that it's all, you know, it's not really a real universal law. We've just made it something, but it's not a real law. It's not there. You know, we have the law of polarity, we have the law of gender, we have all these other universal laws. Law of attraction is not one of them.
I agree.
So that totally is in alignment with that. And then the next thing, you talked about the
repetitive nature.
You talked about distance.
Yes.
And how do you close that gap and bring those things in? Right? It's through the law of practice.
Yes. Like right now, like everybody in the audience, think of something you really, really want. Just bring it to your mind. And usually, as you bring it to your mind, you're wanting something to be in opposition to a constriction you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like most people ask for money because they're whining because they don't have it.
Right. They have a need that they need to fill.
Yeah. And they don't even realize if you have a computer and you have a phone, you're richer than, like, the average human on this planet makes $2,000 a year.
Right.
Not a month.
A year.
A year. So when you start having, you know, like, yeah, I had the realization I was fat, and that made me tremble. Well, what I was explaining with Szebastian, what if we start looking for where we're wealthy? Like, if I'm going to tremble and shake and go through a quickening, I'd rather lift the veil where I'm beautiful, and I lift the veil where I'm wealthy, and I lift that veil. I mean,
right.
You know, so when I'm saying what is the law of practice as opposed to law of attraction,
right? If
I keep going to break down my blocks, I'm going to attract blocks.
More blocks, right?
You see,
excellent.
It's what I'm practicing.
Excellent. It's what you're practicing. And then you did mention your beliefs. So let's talk about the cycle, because let me tell you, this Money, Life, Freedom Weekend experience, I got so much out of it, and it really changed and transformed my life. And I love learning about the cycle of recreation of a belief. So can you just go through that?
Sure.
As well?
Sure. So what happens is we have an experience. And learning occurs, a neurological pathway is created one or two ways. Either it's repetitive every day, maybe not. It's like the Chinese water torture. You know, everything in your house, your parents always said, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And so it's just something you've assumed and you've let into your auditory screen. And it's now embedded in your subconscious, moving at 400 billion bits per second, by the way. Then you have a traumatic event. It will put it in, because either you have repetitive, dull insertion, okay, or you have an emotional event fully charged with energy that impacts life as dangerous. Okay? Now you have this event. And what happens is it shifts your perspective to only see that again. So then you start looking for evidence that that is true on a subconscious level. So then guess what? You then see it. I want to give you an experience right now of the cycle of recreation. And how, for example, when you buy a new car, you don't see them anyway, right? They're a new car, it's your favorite, it's your thing. Then, as soon as you buy it, you're driving and you notice they're everywhere.
Right, that reticulating activating system that we talk about.
That's it. So what happens is your awareness grows based on what you experience. When you were shopping for it, you were searching for evidence to get the best one. After you've bought it, you want to reinforce you did a good thing. So you're going to see everyone has one and you're going to feel good about your purchase. So you understand your eyes are always collecting evidence based on a subconscious call to search something. And when you understand if you're in pain, it's because you subconsciously are searching for it. Then you're
searching for the pain.
Yes.
You're subconsciously searching for the pain.
All right. Or you're doing a behavior to get away from pain. Remember, in the cycle of recreation, when you first have the awareness, the next question we ask is, are you moving towards something?
Or running away from something?
Are you running away from something? Everyone who's a computer coder knows it all breaks down to zeros and ones. Everyone thinks we have a lot of decisions, a lot of choices. When really we only have, you're either going to move or be still. And why move or be still is the frequency in which you emit. So understanding your own motive for movement is the most I am unleashing power thing you can do for yourself, is understanding your own startle response and what motivates you to move.
So I just want to say, Dayanara, if you have the link, click the link now to come join us so you can ask the question. So as soon as we see you in the green room, we'll bring you up on camera so you can ask the question. But go ahead and click the link that we sent you in Messenger.
Yes.
She said it's not letting her in.
I'm helping in the background.
All right. So we're trying to get Dayanara on camera so we can have her here and ask her question live with Tanya here. So the recreation of a belief, I know we don't have a lot of time in this. That's why we're going to have you on and on again, because we need a whole show just to talk about your belief systems and how you recognize it, because I have had so many aha moments just in the last 3 years from that, because when something keeps happening, whether you like it or you don't like it, but you start noticing that it keeps happening, you need to stop yourself. What do I believe about this? Yeah, and really ask yourself, what do I believe about this situation right here? And then listen to yourself. And then you realize, oh, that's what I truly believe. And now I'm a choice that I can change that. Or you get paralyzed and you say, well, no, that's how it is. And that's what I believe. And you drop it and you continue the cycle.
Well, this is what I want you to understand. Where it's hard to make a decision. When you feel like you have no decision, you're in a rock in a hard spot.
Yeah.
How many people well, what happens is you have your foot on the accelerator and the brake at the same time.
Oh, I've been there.
Girl, you know it.
I've been there.
And so it happens. It's a normal, you see babies when they go from crawling to walking. They have that little place where they go, oh, I don't know which way to go. Yeah. It's kind of like, well, it's part of natural evolution. So it's actually great. When I start seeing people freeze and do all that, I'm going, yes, we affected their nervous system and they had the breakthrough.
Right.
But by the time you cry, y'all, the breakthrough has happened. By the time the emotion and you tremor, the work is done.
Right.
So when you talk about the I am presence, and when I talk about I call forth my angels, and why I call myself the Southern Muse, is because I talk to myself as if I'm a spiritual person.
Yeah.
And I am a leader. And so if I talk to myself that way, then I have an angelic team. That's my belief system.
Right.
You know, and that is strong for me. And all I have to do, because I have a code, me, and this invisible puff of smoke that's in this biomechanical unit, I say, hey, do your thing. I ain't thinking no more. I'm going to bed. And when I wake up in the morning, activate this in me, please. I don't need to be the one doing the work anymore. So that's when I put my mind to bed. It's a filing cabinet. It's not going to figure out today and tomorrow.
Right. Or next week.
Tomorrow and yesterday. Ain't going to figure out today.
Right.
No. Today is all I got. And like home magic and the science and solar words, I bring forth ancient rituals that have worked for people neurologically for ancient centuries. Probably the best one for anyone in money issues is you do an 8-day challenge where you look in your bank account and tell yourself, I have more than enough for 72 hours. And if you can do that for 8 days consecutively, you will, I will tell you, it will move your stuff. But you go there and every day you just keep saying, I don't believe this illusion. I have more than enough every day. I'm not going to believe these lies anymore being shoved down our throats by marketers. I have more than enough. And so it is an establishment of beyond the distraction of money making your decisions or approval making your decisions. Love,
I have more than enough.
approval making your decisions, then I say you are in alignment with your I am presence. So, you know, that's all that puff of smoke stuff that a lot of stories have been made up of. And superhuman, supernatural, yes, we all have those kind of powers. But you have to be willing to call for your invisible stuff.
Speaking of the Southern Muse, superhuman, supernatural, controversial, everything else, how does it? You're the Southern Muse.
She's about to be provocative. Yes.
Also, sacred sensuality classes.
But how does it go down with people around you? Because you know, it is the area you live in, the region you're in. Are you very popular?
Infamous. In Louisiana, anyone that does this is infamous. I think more than famous. Discretion. People hear that, you know, discretion. My clients want discretion. But if you want to know, Louisiana in general is one of the most woo-woo creative states, I think, in the whole United States. We embrace diversity out loud, and then we go to church and pretend like we don't. But that's all part of being where we are. We are the mouth of the Mississippi. So energetically, we handle all the negative thoughts come down the United States, right into the mouth of the Mississippi. So my house is directly across from the Mississippi. The levee's right there. So understanding, I don't think I could have been bred in any other environment other than Louisiana. I can't imagine, you know, me being anything else but Southern in the diversity, in the provocative nature. And so anyway, that was a great question. So yeah, infamous, more than famous.
Well,
in California, totally different.
Sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, it's getting better. It's getting better every day.
Of course it is. And you know what my dad used to say, and I'm going to use a Hindi statement here, but naam hue to kya hua, naam na hoga, which is, if you're infamous, would you not be, isn't that famous itself? Because even if you're infamous, people are talking about you. Yes. The conversation is going on, right?
And that's what I want people to do. I want people to talk. I want them to listen to themselves. And if at first I have to say the bold thing that they don't want to say, I'm fine with that. As far as am I popular with everyone in my family? Ooh, no. I'm not. And was that one of my quote unquote initiations? You bet.
Yeah, I bet.
You know,
Listen, it's not.
Absolutely. I mean, I love it, and I love my family, and it's just how it is, you know. So doing me, even when I'm not loved, appreciated, or approved of, has been what I've been here to experience.
Yes, I just wanted to shout out Angelica. Thank you so much for joining us. I know thank you. It's a great show. She's going to be on live with me later on Audacious Confidence. But I so appreciate this conversation. I hate to have it even come to a close because there have been so many ahas, so many breakthroughs just from me sitting here, and I talk to you on a regular basis. You know. But, you know, sometimes you just need things repeated and reinforced. I wanted to get Dayanara to ask her question because we could not get her on camera. And so I want to make sure that she is asking her question and that we can answer that before we run out of time. I do also want to let people know that you have 2 courses. So do you want to talk about that really quickly?
Home Magic, Donna Jerling and I, with her years of real estate success and me learning how to create an environment to call forth the best of yourself visually and auditorily, and also learn how to read your own words. We are doing Home Magic. It releases on the 7th. Anyone enrolling in Home Magic or the Science and Solar Words Mastery Series, which is another online course taught by myself and Patty Blakesley, you will get a free numerology report from me. And that means I'll send you a questionnaire, you fill it out, I read your words, and I give you a month-by-month prediction based on your words. And I am statements that can call out the best of you based on your own words and your own birth date and your own name. So that's what you get free, only for your listeners.
Only for our audience on Women Unleashed here, guys. So
yes. So understand that. And yes, let's see that question. I love questions.
Okay. So she was saying, me either. I'm not sure what that referred to, but for years I wondered why until I knelt down and prayed to my deceased father that would allow me to know my identity. And he sure did.
Okay, so let me explain what happens when you bow your head. This is what I want you to understand. When you bow your head, where your pineal gland is, every other gland in your brain has 2 sides, a left and a right, except your pineal gland and your reticular activation system. So when we get on our knees and we bow our head, we are relaxing this part of our brain, so we get more cerebral spinal fluid. And anything that we are not listening to, we can hear. So that's why people that are your father, honoring your mother and father, you know, people that have passed on are energy. Just because they're not in the body doesn't mean that puff of smoke isn't still somewhere, you know, even if it's in your auditory screen of things they said, right? So understand, when you get in this position, you pull your hands together, you make them one. Put them here, bow your head. You will be able to listen to things that you can't when your head is this way. One more quick tip, and I know we got to go. If you're depressed and you want to think positive thoughts, look up. You cannot look up and think a negative thought. It's impossible. You can't even look up and frown.
Oh, wow. Dayanara.
Okay, so those are 2 things.
You asked about your gifts too. How do you find out about your gifts? Listen, we're going to bring her back. And I encourage you to connect with Tanya, connect with her on social media, go to the Southern Muse, send her a message, say, I saw you on Women Unleashed, you know, connect with Tanya. She is a phenomenal coach. She's a phenomenal woman. She will open things up with you that you didn't even know existed. And so I encourage you.
I have 2 coaching. I only work with a limited number of private coaches because I give them so much attention. So I have 2 seats open this year. So do check muselife8.com if you want. One of them includes a vision quest to Costa Rica. So you choose how much you won't.
All right. I so appreciate you, Tanya, for coming on the show. Thank you so much to all of you who participated and joined us in the chat, who watched, who shared. Thank you, Angelita. Thank you, Shelly. We appreciate you all. And watch it again, share it out. You know, this was really mind-blowing information. So please share it with your network. Share it out. Go to Germaniac TV on Facebook, like our page, and also get notifications for more upcoming episodes with Tanya and all our amazing guests that we have on our show. Dr. Shelley Plum will be on our show too at some moment.
I'll be watching tonight.
Good. Yay. 6 p.m. tonight. Go ahead, Szebastian. He had a question.
Yes.
Well, not a question. I just want to say I am grateful. This is exciting, and this is the fun part. It's been an hour. It doesn't feel like it. We've got so much. I think we need to bring you back so many times for so many shows.
Soon.
You know, the audience is loving it.
Yes,
people are absolutely enjoying it. So guys, if you're watching, once again, this is Women Unleashed, Season 1, Episode 9, with Alicia Couri and myself, and you're watching Tanya Kaye Villar. And please, please, please tag your friends, share this out, because I know this is one of the most amazing episodes that you want to share out, get people to join in, and I'm just blown away. I really,
he can't even speak. He speaks and he can't speak. So
I'm so excited.
Great. And
for him to be speechless, I think that's a testament to the I Am presence.
It's huge, huge.
Well, actually, you know what, Alicia, we have to do rapid fire round, even if we are a little bit over the time.
Please, rapid fire. I love that.
All
right. So when you're ready, I'm going to ask you a question. You have to answer the first thing that comes to your mind out of the two options I'll give you.
Okay.
So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Sushi or steak?
Sushi.
Paris or Copenhagen?
Copenhagen.
Dress or slacks?
Dress.
Dogs or cats?
Always a cat.
African or Italian? that one trips everyone up. Okay.
What else?
Pumps or sandals?
Ooh, pumps on a soggy lawn.
Well,
on a soggy lawn.
Well, the last one, and be careful: coffee or wine?
Well, neither. It's tea.
She's a tea lady. All right.
Well, that was fun.
Me too. I'm a tea lady too. All right. And we loved having you on. We know we'll be back. Thank you so much. And if you want to be a guest on Women Unleashed or any other show on Germaniac TV, please visit our website, www.germaniac.com/guest. And you can apply to be a guest on our show or on any of our shows here on Germaniac TV. And we are, I don't even know how to wrap this up. But
I always say this. You want to know what to do? Go forth and multiply who you are.
Go forth and multiply who you are. Listen,
it's a fabulous puff of smoke.
As a fabulous puff of smoke.
I can't say divine because that would go against the So
I think the perfect wrap up would be that we all just do the I am and the word.
Yes.
So let's start with our guest, Tanya.
I am aligned, divine, and on time.
Yes.
Alicia.
I am possibilities manifested.
I am almost naked in every possible way.
Listen, here I just want to close it off and say thank you for watching Germaniac TV, where you dream big. Where you dream big,
and we make it happen.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
See ya, guys.
See you.
This was the best.